Namaste, Acharya ji. I am in the USA, Michigan. I've been listening to you for more than a year now, and I'm part of the Satras for more than a month. My question to you is regarding the teenagers from between the age 12 to 18. We see a lot of mental health issues today. We are all educated families here, have a great educational background. We try to give best education to our children. However, they suffer ADHD, anxiety, depression, many such issues. I want to know what is the cause for this. Is there a way in spirituality, in Atmagyan, for even for parents, how to bring up these children? Are they doing something wrong? I see they're doing something wrong. कि मुझे दिखता है कि बहुत प्रेशर होता है पेरेंट्स में कि कंपटीशन बढ़ा है और बड़ी बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज में जाए अपने बच्चे उनके बच्चे जा रहे हैं मेरे बच्चे क्यों नहीं जा रहे MIT में क्यों नहीं जा रहे हैं हार्वर्ड में नहीं क्यों जा रहे हैं एंड दैट क्रिएट्स huge anxiety and depression for kids. Where are we going wrong? And people think that having ambition, being driven is the way of life in the US.
There is no particular way in spirituality. Spirituality is the way. See, when you look at a so-called developed country, there is a bewildering proliferation of consumable objects. There is just so much there. Industrialization and its subsequent stages, and information technology now that is bringing information regarding the products of industrialization right to our eardrums. All those things need to be sold. If they need to be sold, then a sense of incompleteness needs to be developed in the consumer. The teenage group is the fantasy of all advertisers. In fact, not just teens, pre-teens and kids as well. They don't earn anything, but they have a lot of spending power. They don't earn anything. In fact, a grown-up will make choices that are rational at least to some extent. If you have a product that can be bought only irrationally, then you must appeal to kids and youngsters. A product that makes no sense, a totally nonsensical thing, a harmful thing, you cannot sell it to somebody who is 40 or 50. It will be difficult. But the same thing can be sold to a 5 or 15-year-old relatively easily. So these people are being attacked, the young ones, so that the machine that is yielding infinite output can remain productively relevant. So much is being produced, somebody needs to consume it. And these are the kids who are being targeted to consume it. Why will the kids consume all those things if they are not being brainwashed into believing that consumption is the way of life? I say the factory must produce not only the product but also the consumer. If you produce only certain goods, from where will the profit come? You also need a buyer. The buyer too is being produced by the factory. Therefore, organizations have a production wing and then a marketing wing. Because the produce has no automatic demand. It needs a lot of marketing. And today marketing is less about logistics and distribution and such things. It's much more about occupying mind space, which is called branding. What else is a brand? The space that a particular object has occupied in your mind, that's called a brand. So all these producers, they want to get into your mind and make you believe that unless you buy their produce, there is something terribly wrong with your life. Forced consumerism. You are being forcibly made to consume stuff that you have no need of. And in the crosshairs of the advertisers are our kids. Are you getting? Now the kid is consuming this, consuming that. He's being told, unless you compete with your batchmates, your peers, your schoolmates, colleagues, you're not there yet. New and newer standards of coolness are being advertised every day. And if there is one thing that serves as an antidote to consumerism, it's wisdom. So it has become very important that the production economy, which can thrive only on consumerism, tries to suppress wisdom as much as possible. Do you know that the social media accounts of your foundation have either been limited or suspended or shadow banned just so many times? What did we do? Every time there was even a little 60-minute short or reel against consumption of flesh or mindless exploitation of anything, resources, whatever, we would find that the reach of the channel has simply declined. It was being done.
And when I share your videos with the parents who are struggling with kids and struggling with a lot of issues, they don't want to listen to you. They say, no, we don't want to listen.
In fact, they have listened to a lot of propaganda that says, do not listen to this. Not that they are not listening to me. We have just been late and we have just been slow. We are still late, we are still slow because we don't have the right resources. They are not listening to me because they are listening to someone else who is telling them to not to listen to me. And the one who is telling them to not to listen to me has a lot of resources. And he comes to them in various faces, various voices, various forms, and through various channels. And he constantly tells them, don't listen to this one, don't listen to this one. Because if they listen to me, then the interests of the production consumption economy will be hit.
Ji.
For this economy to survive, it must keep exploiting on both the sides. On the raw material side, it must exploit the earth. See, capitalism and consumerism go together, right? Capitalism means there have to be endless profits. And there can be endless profits only when there is endless consumption. Somebody must consume so that you can make endless profits, correct? So there is this factory. It is an exploitative force in both the directions. On this side, it must have raw materials, so it exploits the very planet. On this side, it must have consumption, so it exploits all the consumers. It forces them to consume. This side, it is forcing them to consume. This side, it is forcing the earth to yield its resources. Just so that there is the capitalist sitting over here, he can keep making endless profits. That which we are calling as the epidemic of mental disorder is a result of this. the one who is sitting here. So this mental health issue and the health of the planet, which is the climate catastrophe, they are very much interlinked. Climate change and mental health are two sides of the same coin. And the same force is responsible for both of these tragedies. The capitalist who is saying, I will exploit this side and I'll exploit this side. Both backward and forward, I will be the cause of exploitation. He does not care. He says, I'm here for another 10, 20, 30 years. Let me make merry and depart. Why should I bother about what happens to this, that, or what happens a few decades hence? Wisdom literature is the only thing that can resist what is going on. But there is very little support to the cause of wisdom. The very field of wisdom, let me put it very bluntly, is starved of resources. What have these people done? Nothing great, nothing magical. They have just beamed themselves into their home, into your homes. Streaming, that's what they call it, right? And that's what is resourcefulness all about. Constantly, wherever the kid goes, everywhere, he is meeting the propaganda unleashed by these people. The one who will have the power to propagate will win today. I call it Prachar Yuddha again and again. It's a battle of mobilization of minds. And if you cannot even reach the minds, how will you help them? First thing is reach. Reach is everything. And that's where I find my hands tied. Reach. The truth is not something that I'm uniquely bringing to this world. It has always been there. Great, far greater persons have existed. And they have already said whatever I'm saying. The problem is not that the truth has to be freshly invented. The problem is that truth must reach everybody. That's where we are struggling. And the forces of darkness, they are adept at reaching. They have just mastered this game.
And people find it shameful if they say, I am reading Bhagavad Gita or I am reading some wisdom literature.
It's a taught shame. It's a cultivated shame. It's not shame that arises innately. It is not shame that a fresh kid would experience. But the moment this kid who's sitting right now in a wisdom session reaches teenage, she would have been taught to be ashamed of wisdom literature. And the forces that are reaching out to her, and encircling her and seizing her like a python, we don't see them. We don't identify them. We don't stop them. And very soon, just a few years from today, those forces would have encircled and seized this kid so completely that she would find it awkward to attend a session like this. She will say, oh, this is so boring and uncool. I rather need to go out shopping and, pubbing, bar hopping or something. That's what is cool. You need to send your kids in before it is too late.
Yeah. Thank you, Acharya.